Alright folks, welcome back to Silva's shop. I'm going to finish up the first video on the wiring, was all the top side of the truck, the interior, underneath the hood, headlights and that kind of thing, and I'll show some of that are underside, but it was a little long video, so I wanted to break it up. So this video will be a continuation, part 2 if you will, of the wiring on the truck. Again, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. I don't make any money. I just like to help folks, and your likes and subscribes make me feel good, I guess. So anyway, let's do this. So I got the truck up on the lift, and I drive my truck. It's not in the garage sitting around rotten and rusting. I drive my truck. I live down a dirt road. Hence the dirt. That's what they're made for. They're made to drive. Oh. So here we go. All right, so I showed you where the wiring, and you can probably see it. You can see it better, much better here. But where it comes through the firewall, it comes down to the frame rail, and then there's a pigtail off that goes up to the engine. You'll see that brass insert. If you're using, see it's got an angle on it. You may not be able to see that there's an angle, but it's a 2-piece fit. You have to have one of those for a for a small block Chevy engine, older ones. This one's a 327 for that actual connection to be made there. It's a little bit of a challenge to put in, but you got to have it. So anyway, that comes down there. I do have some wiring that goes to the other side of the truck, which I've explained in the other video, and I'll show you there, but let's go and stay on this side of the truck for the moment. Okay. So when it comes down, let's do the rear first. It's probably gonna be easier. I'm trying to hold a light and the camera at the same time. So you see right there where it comes down to the frame rail. See if I can get that to focus. There we go. It comes down to the frame rail, and you'll see it split off to the front of the truck and to the rear of the truck. Another thing that I did was I didn't want the battery in the engine bay, so I didn't put it up there. I wanted to find an alternate location. My first thought was under the bed, because if you've seen my other video, I have a trick door there, or a hinged slat that I can get to my filler and also to my gas tank sender up there. So this wood piece is hinged. You can see the hinges there and there, where I can open it up and get to everything down here. And I was wanting to put the battery somewhere there to where I can access it through that. It didn't work. So I took a drop battery box from Speedway Motors. I put it up under the driver's seat. It's just forward of the second bracket of your steps. And so what I've got here is I had already holes in the frame. Let me see if I can find them right here. And I fished most of the battery stuff through the holes in the firewall, which come out and go to the battery. The battery does drop down, and I do have slack in the wiring to where I can get to the wires easily. And actually it doesn't only drop down, but I can remove it and it just completely comes out if I need to. It's difficult to disconnect the battery if you have to, for whatever reason, if you're working on the engine or whatever. So I'm probably going to put an alternate switch someplace to where I can turn it on and off, or break the positive anyway to where I can get to it or do whatever I need to do. All right, so these breakers, yeah, they're breakers. One goes to the AC, and I want to say, I might be wrong, it's been a while since I've wired it. I think the other one goes to the Dakota Digital. I might be incorrect, and I might correct myself at some point, but I believe those which then they go to directly to the battery. So I'm pretty sure that's what those two are, if I remember correctly. And then you'll see, okay, so traveling back, you'll see that, you know, I've used the loom again. I use zip ties, and I use tie-ups to the frame to keep it out of the way, along with the brake line, the new brake lines I installed. This wire comes out. It's with your Dakota Digital speedometer. You need an adapter, potentially need an adapter there. It hooks into your transmission. I zip tied it down. This connection is not a very good connection, to be quite honest. If I pull on that black piece right there, if I just, you know, pull on it just a little bit, it'll come out. So I don't really like it, but it's working. If it comes out, I know the speedometer's not working. All right, so we travel down this way, trying to protect the wiring as much as I can. So I go through the frame. This is an original frame, by the way. Come up and around and down, and then you'll see that those wires coming off, they're going to go to the gas tank, the sending unit there. These two that are coming off, those are my gas lines to go up to the EFI. And you'll see that it goes ahead and travels aft. Okay, to here. There you go. To here, and then I wide them out to the taillights. So there's one taillight. I took the loom all the way out, right under the chrome piece, and up to the taillight, which is dirty. And then the other side wise off. I've got it through the bed, or not the bed frame, just the support frame for the frame. And there's my vent for the gas tank, and it goes through and again to the rear light. Okay, there is a backup light. These rear lights do not have backup lights within them, but there is a wire that comes back here for backup lights. So I left it back here just so that I could tie something in if I wanted to. Maybe like a little strip in the center of the bed or something that lights up when I back up. Or, you know, maybe, well, the brake lights are already back here, so I could wire in more brake lights if I wanted to. I don't drive at night a whole lot, but anyway. All right, let's go back up to the front. Nothing that's on this side, by the way. The only thing that's on this side are my gas lines, my supply and my return to the EFI. All right, so we went to the back. Now let's go to the front. So I just run with the rail, or the frame rail, come up to the top, or come up into the front, and it comes out here. Here you will see it'll branch out. Let me see if I can get a good picture. Well, it branches out to basically the driver's side. It's right on top of there. I just can't get the camera up in there without, and it's not focusing. You might be able to see it there a little bit. Anyway, it goes up to the driver's side headlights, and then majority of the wires, sorry about the focusing, come out, and they go and they run inside the bottom of the radiator frame for protection, and they come out here, and again there's a Y. That's what I showed you from the top side in the other video. They go up to the binary trinary switch for the AC, and also the passenger side headlights. I'll show you those in a minute. And then this comes back because this is the power wire going to the starter. And this I don't like, but it does work for the time being, because those wires come from the starter, and that thing is basically hooked to the circuit breaker along the that's hooked onto the frame. Again, I don't particularly care because there's just a mess up there of wires and tubes and not tubes but hoses and stuff, and I don't care for that at all. That is exposed. I don't like all that. But anyway, it runs, and that's where it's at now. I'm looking for other wiring. I think that's about it, honestly. So yeah, comes over, up, and I think that's just about it, folks, for the wiring. That's how I ran all the wires. Oh, I'm sorry, under the fenders. So what you see here is I did drill a couple holes to have them easily fish through and go to the headlights. My ground is up there underneath, and I'm just grounding to one of the fender bolts. And these come out to go to my headlights, and these are LED headlights, and they do have the oval running lights on them and turn signals. So that's how all that wiring comes, and it's the same thing on the driver's side. Comes out, goes to the lights, and then it's grounded up on that on the fender. Why it's so big right there is that there's a box that goes to those LED lights that I had to cover with the loom. That's why it's fat in that area. Folks, I think that's it as far as wiring for the truck. It's really not very difficult. I will say this, and I showed this in the last video, so you know, look at that if you have some time, or if you haven't already. But the Painless wiring kit, everything is labeled. Like that is the gas gauge. It's upside down, but that's the gas gauge wire. Didn't need that much, so I cut off what I didn't need. I mean, these are, this kit is really, really nice. Everything's labeled. I think that's it for the wiring. Again, like and subscribe. Truly appreciate that. And until the next time.